let's get started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. That table's going to be our trouble table. Well, I am Angela Marine, Athletic Director here at UT Dallas, and I am honored and excited to welcome you tonight. We have not had a celebration since 2019, so this is a big deal for us, and we're excited that all of you are here. We are honoring 3 inductees tonight to our Hall of Honor. First one is Jake Jackson, baseball. Unfortunately, Jake could not be here tonight with us, but we do have a video highlighting his success.
The type of player he was for us that season and why he is so deserving of being inducted into the Hall of Honors.
All right, Jake Jackson. Up next, we're going to honor Amber Griffin Schmidt, and if Trisha Hoffman, former UT Dallas head softball coach, will come join me on stage, and we will play Amber's video.
My name is Amber Schmidt, formerly Amber Griffin. I played softball at UTD from 2004 to 2008. I currently live in Needville, Texas, which is my hometown. I am married to my husband, Taylor. I have a 10-year-old daughter named Stormy, and I am currently expecting our second child in May. I am currently an Algebra 1 teacher and the head softball coach at Needville High School. I was recruited by great coaches who made a great first impression on me. I remember taking my visits to the campus, knowing that I would get a great education from UTD, and seeing the campus, it was absolutely stunning. My fondest memories would be the relationships that I ended up forming with my teammates and peers in college. I have some lifelong friends that I gained through playing with them. I don't necessarily remember all the plays and all the games, but I definitely remember all of the experiences and the relationships from time on the bus, time on the fields, spent together. What are the most valuable lessons I learned from playing college athletics? One, I definitely learned the lesson of hard work. You had to definitely be able to juggle your studies while also competing out on the field, between weight room and running and conditioning and keeping your body healthy. I also learned the value of teamwork and being able to get along with all different types of personalities and how you kind of have to mesh together to reach your end goal. And then finally, the never give up mentality. You may have had a terrible day, but tomorrow's a brand new day, and you get to get out there and redeem yourself and show them what you're made of.
I have to make a public confession before I start my presentation, and that I have to wear readers now. I'm old. I'm not tea butter old, but it's we go way back. It's okay for me to say that, right? See, exactly. Yeah, we're kindred spirits. It was almost 22 years to the day that I drove up from Kerrville while I was the softball coach to interview for the head softball and sports information job at UTD. It was an honor to even be considered for the first coach of the new program. And I remember driving around on a golf cart with Jack Peel and seeing the field that was slated for the new softball facility. And I will use the word vision a few times tonight. When I tell you that you had to have a great vision to imagine how good this field was going to be, and I say that in the nicest way. This was an intramural field that I think at the time had a broken beer bottle and a half-eaten apple just hanging out on it. But Jack assured me that it was going to be a showcase field. You just had to have vision. One of the most important aspects of building a quality program is to recruit student athletes of exceptional character. I was very fortunate during my 4 years here to coach young women who led with integrity, trained with intensity, and pursued academic success with vigor. And tonight's honoree, Amber, fits this description to a T. I remember my assistant coach at the time had come back from recruiting in Houston and had this giddy excitement about him. Coach, you've got to see this lefty slapper. She's a stud. And of course, I'm intrigued. So we start talking about this shortstop from Needville High School. And he started telling me about her speed. Lightning fast down the line, she could drop a bunt and be at first without anybody knowing what had just happened to them. But if you pull your team in, she'll rip a triple to the wall. And her range, she gets the balls in the gap. She charges weak grounders and throws players out with ease. So yeah, she sounds amazing. So let's continue to talk about her. Then he said, there's just one thing that's a little bit off. She walks with a limp. And my first thought was like 50 Cent, like she's been hit with a few shells, now she walks with a limp. I like a player with swagger and confidence, but it turns out that slight limp was a result of a cancer diagnosis when she was 2. And as a parent of 3 children, I can't imagine that news. And the vision that you have for your child is obviously one to outlive you, and the other is to be healthy. So after 18 grueling months of chemo and a successful surgery to remove a tumor, part of her leg muscle was also taken out. So here you have a baby girl, not quite 4 years old, has endured more than any human should ever have to. No one wants to be defined by their circumstance, disability, or difference. Amber's cancer experience never defined her. She didn't let something that knocked her down keep her down. She could have certainly made excuses, but instead, she never let that cancer be a deterrent to the vision that she had for herself. As Amber's coach her freshman year, it was an absolute joy to watch her not only play college softball, but dominate in that environment. Amber bought into my personal vision. She was a team player, and she led her team with a humble and quiet, yet absolutely fierce spirit. One of my favorite things about Amber as a player, and it was showcased on this video, was that she didn't have a good game. It was not a good day unless she ended the game with the dirtiest uniform on the field. She was it was diving, it was sliding, it was nothing, but it was almost a challenge to herself. Amber only missed 2 games her entire 4-year career, and when she played, she started every single game. That to me is one of the most unbelievable statistics. Amber was our team's leading hitter her freshman year with a .414 batting average, 58 hits, 22 runs scored, 15 RBI, 3 walks, and only 3 strikeouts. She was rightly awarded the Freshman of the Year award in the ASC in 2005. This was a huge honor and just the beginning of her phenomenal career. Amber played in 154 games and hit a career average of .421 with 221 hits, 130 runs scored, 25 doubles, 15 triples, 76 RBI, 294 total bases, and 77 stolen bases. So many, it's so awesome. She still holds the Comet career record with 15 triples and ranks second in hits and runs and is third in average, total bases, and steals. Amber graduated in 2008 with her degree in business administration and felt that her calling was to give back to her community that raised and supported her. She is the current head softball coach and math teacher at Needville High School, where she grew up and played. It's been almost 18 years since I held the title as coach. And when people ask me if I miss coaching, my honest answer is no. I don't miss the multiple days recruiting in Beaumont in August. I don't miss losing to a coach that I dislike, but what I absolutely miss is the relationship with my girls. It's such a joy to see the impact the sport of softball and the college experience offered so many young women who bought into my vision. The vision that they continue to play the sport they love and earn a degree, that they could push themselves harder than they ever thought they could, juggle the rigors of being a student athlete, and make some of the best friends they'll ever have the pleasure of knowing. It's such an honor for me to be able to present this award to Amber tonight. I'm so proud of you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Coach Hoffman, for that great introduction. It is great to be back tonight. A few weeks ago, I received a Facebook message from Bill Pettit asking me to call him. His message stated that this wasn't a scam. I must admit I was a little leery at first, but I am so very thankful that I ended up making that phone call. I'm so blessed and honored to stand here before you to accept this award tonight. I hope my receiving this award will serve as an inspiration to my daughter, Stormy, that she will realize the importance of hard work and perseverance. I started out playing Little League softball when I was 8 years old. By the time I turned 10, I was playing with the 12-year-olds. It was about this time period I started to take weekly hitting and pitching lessons with Robert Andaya. Every Tuesday night, we would pack up the car and drive to Pearland for 1 hour of hitting lessons, followed by 1 hour of pitching lessons. It took years of practice and playing softball year-round to become the player I so desired to be. Prior to starting the lessons, I was a right-handed batter, but quickly transitioned and became a left-handed hitter because of my speed. I perfected the one-handed bunt that left people in the stands mesmerized. Next came slapping and then hitting. Before I knew it, I began my high school career at Needville High School. I was a 4-year varsity letterman. I am currently the head softball coach there, and my high school coach at the time, CJ Mazach, is now one of my assistants. All of this led me to coming to UTD. I cannot thank UTD enough for the outstanding education that I received while being given the opportunity to play the sport that I truly love. Also, a big thank you to those who nominated and voted for me to receive this prestigious award tonight. To Coach Hoffman, thank you for seeing something in me and for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to be a starter and leadoff batter as a freshman. In my heart, I believe she knew all along what I was capable of, what I was capable of accomplishing, and she pushed me to always do better and to never settle for anything less. She was the driving force that sparked my freshman year playing softball. Again, I cannot thank you enough for all the memories that I now hold so dearly in my heart. I played this game with a pretty awesome group of ladies, and I owe this award to them. When I came to UTD, I was 300 miles away from home and never really experienced being away from home. I didn't know anyone here, but it didn't take long for me to begin bonding with my teammates. Some of my best college memories are due to the friendships that I built along the way. Without them, I would not be standing here before you tonight. Without them, I would not have been able to break the records that I was able to break. So to my teammates, thank you. I'd also like to thank our athletic department and the coaches for all of their support, to the trainers as well who doctored me up and for their unending care to keep me healthy so I could continue to keep playing. To Bruce and his staff for all of the amazing articles that he wrote for my family and friends back home to see and read. To the fans, our biggest supporters, the parents, the grandparents, siblings, family, and friends for always being there to support us and cheer us along the way, even when we were down. To my family, my husband Taylor, and my daughter Stormy, for your presence here tonight and for loving me and supporting me along the way through the good times and the bad. Thank you for letting me continue to coach the sport that I love. To my parents, Dad, you've always been my biggest critic. You do not sugarcoat anything, and you're always shooting it to me straight. Mom, thank you for always being there to listen to my stories, whether good or bad. Thank you for your love and support. I would not be the person that I am today without you. And finally, last but not least, I thank God for blessing me not only with a talent, but for a second chance at life. You see, I am a cancer survivor. I never really wanted anyone to know what I had gone through, and I never wanted to use my cancer as a crutch to get through life. I think this has been the driving force behind my competitive nature. Maybe this is why I hate losing more than I like to win. Finally, I would like to leave you with the message tonight. Not a single one of us is guaranteed tomorrow. When you step out on the field, get after it. Lay your body out for every play. Play every game or pitch like it is your last. Leave it all on the field and play your hearts out. Because, my friends, when it is over, it's over. Who knows, one day it could be you standing up here accepting this award. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. Go Comets.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. For those of you who know me, know I'm a crier, so man, this is already a good start. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you, Amber. That was beautiful. Okay, let's move on. We will come back to those two, but let's move on. Kyle Schleigh is up next, and Coach Terry Butterfield will be Kyle's presenter, and we'll go ahead and play Kyle's video.
So my name is Kyle Schleigh. I played basketball at UT Dallas from 2010 till 2014. I currently live up in Denver, Colorado, with my fiance, Andrea Guevara, and I am a CPA. So now I work for a company called Embark. We do like accounting consulting for small companies. So I ended up at UTD for a couple different reasons. I could tell that the campus itself was growing and the name was growing, which was exciting. The coaching and the style of bad play was really exciting to me. But the one thing that really drew me to UT Dallas, on my recruiting trip, I got to meet a bunch of the existing guys on the team, and we just connected right away. It was the kind of environment I knew I wanted to be in, where I could succeed both in basketball and after basketball was done. So I have so many great memories from UT Dallas, the bus rides, the locker room, just hanging out with all the guys. But my fondest memory probably wasn't even me, because I had already fouled out of the game. But when Nolan Harvey hit the buzzer beater shot against Whitworth, sent us to the Sweet 16, the whole team rushed, the crowd rushed the court, dogpiled Nolan. It was one of the happiest moments of my career at UTD. But some of the lessons I learned playing college basketball are your standard sort of, discipline. You have to balance your time with practices and traveling for games, your schoolwork. But the bigger one I would think would be sort of the leadership aspect. I was made a team captain as a sophomore. And so being a 19-year-old, I didn't really know if I was ready for that or that I even deserved it. So you kind of learn how to lead people who are your friends through like good times and bad times, and that's applicable throughout college life.
Boy, it's so great to stand up here and look out over this group of guys who have assembled to celebrate Kyle's great achievement. And I look out here, a lot of wins in this room, huh, guys? A lot of wins, a lot of great times, a lot of great memories, and I think it's a real tribute to this group. They've only gotten closer over the years. It's amazing to watch. My assistant coach, Jared Fleming, is here tonight, and we'll be meeting in my office. And maybe we'll be watching video or film or something like that, and his phone is just buzzing off the hook. And I'll let it go for about 5 minutes, and I'll say, tell those guys to shut up and turn off your phone, because they're probably talking about fantasy football or something like that. Yeah, guilty. So let me start by talking about someone other than our honoree. Travis? Yeah, you, Travis. So Travis came out of the summer recruitment period talking about a kid from Kingwood. Kingwood High School had a very, very rich basketball tradition. And he said, hey, I'm really liking this kid from Kingwood that I saw this summer. So in the fall, we ventured down to an event outside of Houston in Pearland. And he said, look, Kingwood's going to be playing in the back gym at Pearland High School on a Saturday morning, so he dropped me off there. He went to a different game. He said, I want you to watch this kid. Schleigh's his name. So I did. 9 o'clock in the morning in some old gym in Pearland, Texas. And after it was all over, I was very unimpressed. Very unimpressed. So Travis came back around after he watched his game, and he said, what do you think? And I said, I don't think much. I don't think he can help us. Well, how did he play? Well, he didn't do anything. Well, did he rebound? No. Did he shoot it in? No. Did he play good defense? No. Well, we all know, if you're in this industry, you know that recruiting is not an exact science. It's not black and white. It's shades of gray. So I'm just going to tell you that Travis, at that point, was very comfortable to argue with me and to disagree with me. Tell you that I was right. So we continued to recruit this young man. And he kept saying, you need to go to Kingwood to see him. And I said, I'm not going to Kingwood. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. So Travis, you went. Okay, I stayed back in Dallas. You went a couple of times. So long story short, we get Kyle up for a visit. And Travis just would not take no for an answer. He just said, look, you're wrong. And we need to recruit this kid. He's going to be good. Well, he came for his visit, and one of the things that he did was he was able to get out in the gym and work out with our guys and get into a pickup game. And, of course, as coaches, per NCAA regulations, we're not allowed to view that. So after the game, I had this steady procession of our players at the time come by and say, hey, the kid from Kingwood's really good. He's really good, and you need to get him. So we sort of fought to get him. And he ended up making the decision to come up to Dallas and be part of our program. To do that, he had to tell St. Ed's and half of a basketball scholarship no. His mother was not very happy about that. She was not happy at all. But we all want the best for our children. So Kyle came to UTD and proceeded to become an unbelievably outstanding basketball player. And he was named the ASC Freshman of the Year his first year. He was thrust into a role early on in his career where he had to contribute. I had many fights with this kid where he would get the ball in his hands and have a wide open shot. It would not shoot. He'd pass it to somebody else. Look at Barnes shaking his head. He knows what we're talking about. I had to literally threaten him to get him to shoot the ball, because the thing that you want to know about Kyle, he's one of the most humble, unassuming kids that you could ever ask to be around. And all he wanted to do that first year was fit in and be a part of the team. Well, his skill set was way too great for that. So over time, he became a very honored player. And, you can go look up his numbers and all that stuff, two-time All-American, whatever, okay? The thing that I'm going to remember, one of the greatest plays that, as you get older, all the plays run together. Only a couple plays really stick out in my mind going over all this time that I've been around. We're at East Texas Baptist. We're down 6 points with 30 seconds to play in the game. And it does not look good. We're going down. We're done. Well, I had Kyle and Chris, we called a timeout, and I said, we're going to dribble hand off to Kyle. Chris, you set the screen, come off and shoot it, Kyle. And that's exactly what we did. We handed the ball off, he came around, Chris set a screen for him, and he drilled a 3. So now we're down 3. Well, we had to foul the other team to stop the clock. They come down to miss a free throw. And we run the second part of the play, which this time we're gonna give the handoff, but Chris Barnes is gonna fade over to the side. And darn it, he drilled a 3. And we went to overtime, and then we went to a double overtime, and we won that game. Do you guys remember that? Yeah, that was really something, wasn't it? Probably the greatest comeback I can remember having at that particular time. So there's a very rich history that involves Kyle in our basketball program. We've had a lot of luck and success over the years, and he's been instrumental in all those things. In at the 2013-14 year, Kyle was named the UTD Male Athlete of the Year and also the American Southwest Conference Male Athlete of the Year, transcending all sports. And I can remember sitting in the big banquet we used to have at the end of the spring, and I remember his mom and dad came to see him accept his award, and I just could not help myself. I sidled over to Mrs. Schleigh, and I said, "Hey, your kid had a pretty good career here at UTD, didn't he?" And she looked me dead in the eye and she said, "Yes, he did. I'm so glad he came to UTD." So we got her on our side eventually. So Kyle has gone on with an accounting degree, and he's done great things. And again, his legacy as a member of our basketball program speaks for itself. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that this fall, we're going to gather up in Colorado and celebrate a wedding, aren't we, guys? Yes, Andrea is here tonight. And I can remember them chasing around after each other at UTD back in the day. Yes, I do. And I'm going to be right there because I have a save the date card. And that's my ticket to the wedding, and I'm going to be there to celebrate this great couple, and it's going to be amazing. So, again, if you would just help me to celebrate this young man and all he's meant to our program and to the university, Kyle Schleigh.
Thank you, Coach. You stole about half my speech, but that's okay. So way back when, if you would have asked me as a freshman what my expectations were coming into UT Dallas, none of this was even on the radar. I remember coming on campus the first time and seeing the upperclassmen like Andy, Brandon, Mike, Jared, Wells, Barnes, all these guys that are here, watching these guys play and then just thinking, oh gosh, I don't even know if I'm going to make the team. These were real thoughts that went through my head as a freshman. So needless to say, I was thankful to have the coaching staff that we had with Butterfield and Travis and Jared, because they believed in me from the very beginning. Like Coach said, there were times in practice where no matter where we were in a drill, the practice would come to a complete stop so he could lovingly yell at me to shoot the ball. I remember specifically this one time he had it. He was fed up and he said, "Kyle, if you don't shoot the ball, you're not going to play, plain and simple." So in my head as a freshman, I was like, okay, no matter what, the next time I touch the ball, I'm going to shoot this thing. So what did I do? I catch the ball, I drive past my defender, jump stop in the lane, shoot a floater, and air ball. So I look at Butterfield, expecting to be yelled at, expecting him to be angry. He looks around, starts laughing, says, well, at least he shot the ball. So like he said, my freshman year, one of our key starters got hurt, and I was thrust to the starting lineup. He didn't hesitate. He just put me right in there. He had no clue how nervous I was. But that's sort of the recurring theme, is that all those coaches had the confidence in me before I had the confidence in myself. They were constantly challenging me to do more and more, asking more and more to contribute to the team, and all these things, which at the time I wasn't sure I was able to do. And so he sort of forced my hand, and because of that, my game developed over the course of the 4 years. So you can talk about all the technical basketball and the stuff you would expect from your college basketball coaches, offensive schemes, defensive schemes, whatever. But the belief in me and the confidence in me as a player is what helped me the most, and for that, I couldn't be more appreciative, so thank you. And then my teammates, all these guys here tonight. I was blessed with the best group of guys that you could ever ask for. Good or bad, we were always close. We always had a common goal. We were always best friends. Winning, losing, doesn't matter. My favorite memories were banging on the lockers in the locker room after every win, home and away. We wanted the other teams to hear us in the neighboring locker room because we just beat them. Thankfully, throughout my career, we did that a lot. And in addition to that, the bus rides, the brutal practices, winning the conference championship, Dima hitting the crazy shot in the conference championship, Nolan hitting the crazy shot in beating Whitworth to set a Sweet 16, the snowball fight in the La Quinta Inn parking lot after we lost to Whitworth. All of those memories are my favorite memories, and I wouldn't trade them for everything. You guys are my closest friends. I love you guys, especially beating you in fantasy football. And then, like Coach said, there's Andrea. And ever since my junior year, you've been my best friend and my biggest fan. Through the highs and lows, if I played bad, if the team played bad, if we lost, I knew you'd be there to vent. If there was a tough practice, I knew you'd be there to vent. But at the same time, if we were winning and things were going great, we were always celebrating together. You were always there for showing your support, no matter what, at every single home game, watching the grainy streams of the away games, and thank you so much. So this honor is, I guess, technically for all that I accomplished at UT Dallas, but to me, it's kind of more than that. To me, it's sort of like a culmination of all the time and effort since I was a little kid playing basketball. And nobody put in more effort than my two parents who are here. Ever since 6th grade, driving me to practices, spending countless time and money and weekends driving across the state just to watch me play as a 6th grader. But we're not that good at basketball as 6th graders. It's not that fun. And they never wavered. Their support was there 100%. And literally none of this is possible without them. So to you guys, thank you so much. I'm really proud of everything that I accomplished at UT Dallas, especially that senior year was really special, like one of the best years of my life. It really was. And I'm glad that I was able to do it in a Comet jersey. I'm glad that's the decision I made. So for that, thank you to everybody. I really appreciate it.
Terry, are these your glasses? Yes. Okay. And I just want to point out, his speech is on a shooting practice. Practice plan. All right, I'm going to go off script for a little bit, but, sorry, Bruce, I think I just broke. Sorry, Bruce. I'm going to go off script a little bit because I did not have the honor of being here to watch Amber play or Trisha coach or Jake play. But Amber, thank you for that story. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm definitely leaving more inspired than I came in the door, so thank you. And Trisha, thank you for advocating for our student athletes. That's what we do, so thank you. I was, however, here for Kyle and this group of young men, most of them anyways. Kyle's group, the 13-14 group, was one of my very first years at UT Dallas. And that group really was a special group of young men. Now, as the then compliance officer, they were also in my office a lot. And I have many stories for each one of them that I could share that I will not. But I will, this group, I do want to say, will always have a very, very special place in my heart because of how just outstanding young men you are, and how you have grown up to be even better young men. So it is an honor to have known you then as a student, as freshmen and sophomores, but to know you now as young men. And that is a great honor. And I still can't believe that Carter Nash is an attorney. Miracles do happen. But to that class, thank you. Bill and I got to join you on your Sweet 16 ride, and that was a ride we will never forget. So thank you for those memories, and thank you for just being outstanding young men. So thank you. But thank you for a wonderful night. I do want to give a shout out to Bruce, Bill Pettit, Dylan, who make this night happen. So thank you very much to all of you. And have a great night. Thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow.